Praise God. This is our season of time to time prophetic. We are operating in the full force of the prophetic. The reason is because God gave us the prophetic team for this year, 2020, and said that this year is our year of operating in the flow of the prophetic. This is our year of operating in the flow of the prophetic. And I want to tell you this, that the year had not really begun until today. In fact, since January, today is just the beginning of 2020. And that is why I'm bringing to you the full force of the prophetic. A lot of prophecies that came last year. One of the major prophecies that came was on the 11th of August 2019. Go to our Instagram, you see that prophecy. God said to me on that day, he said that London had been marked for deletion. He said London had been marked for deletion. And I was asking God, I said, what does it mean that London had been marked for deletion? And in the vision of that prophecy, I saw the angels of God being moved out of London. And God said to me that the London had been marked for deletion actually. So by that time, when London actually also signifies or symbolizes the entire Europe, because as at that time we have never heard about coronavirus, we never knew what coronavirus was gonna come up, and God said that we should pray for London, that we should pray for UK, that if we don't pray for the UK, that the man of the Antichrist will seize UK, and he said that we should pray for UK, that there be revival in the United Kingdom. The revival should be tagged Pentecost visitation, or Pentecost, whatever it is. But I remember vividly, that period, I remember vividly was talking about a revival in the UK. He said that is the only thing that would transform that city. And we didn't take it seriously, but look at what is happening today in London. Look at what is happening today in UK. One of the write-ups I saw was the mayor of UK, the mayor of UK giving an order or whatever it is, that the entire United Kingdom citizens should be implanted with a microchip. I think I circulated that to some people. So, and you can see that is actually the beginning of the end of UK. But there are other prophecies that came when God spoke to me and said that there will be major death of some very powerful politicians in Nigeria. That one came on the 8th of February 2020. Yeah. So there will be major death of some politicians, major politicians, core politicians in Nigeria. And he said one of them was going to. And also today being the 8th of February 2020, the Lord said to me that there will be 3 major deaths of prominent politicians in Nigeria this year. 3 major deaths of prominent politicians in Nigeria this year. And he said that another person that will die again is one major general in the army, that he will pass on this year. That major general in the army, before he dies, there will be a publication by him, making publication about, he will make a publication about the previous thing that have been done since the history of Nigeria. God said on the 7th of February 2020 was that there was going to be major flooding in Lagos State. If you go visit my Instagram, you see most of those prophecies. Go down, you see most of those prophecies. They are coming as the Lord has spoken. See, let me tell you something you need to know. I see major flooding in Lagos State this year. I see major flood in Lagos this year. As a matter of fact, the flood will be so powerful that it will even lift cars. It will carry cars. I see one of the cars I see carried in the flood is a Land Rover, a white Land Rover Jeep was carried in the flood. Also, 3 buildings will collapse in Lagos State this year, 2020. One of them will collapse on the island and 2 will collapse on the mainland. And this is going to happen before December 2020. God will not risk my life because my life is His word. Now, again and again and again, the most important of it all now is, what is God saying in this season? God has begun to say a lot of things in this season, which is very, very important for you to listen. Now, let me take it from home first. One of the first things God has said this season is concerning his Honorable Emeke Hedioha and Senator Hope Uzodinma of Imo State. God said to me in a long vision a couple of days ago, he said, I am going to dethrone Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, and I'm going to enthrone Emeke Hedioha again. And I said, why? And God said to me, the reason is because Hope Uzodinma was not my choice, even though I allowed him to ascend to that place, because I want to humble Emeke Hedioha. He said, but Emeke Hedioha is my choice. And the will of men cannot override my will. The will of the Supreme Court cannot override my will. And I said to him, it was the Supreme Court judgment that decided that he be put there. God said to me, I am the judge. As it is written in the book of Psalm 75 verse 21. He said, I am the judge of all nations. I bring one down and I lift another. Therefore, I will bring Hope Uzodinma down from that place, and I will exalt, I will replace Emeke Hedioha there. And I said, why did you allow that place to be taken from Emeke Hedioha in the first place? God said to me, because I want to humble him. He said, because I want to humble him. And I said, Lord, because you want to humble a man, the entire state was put in jeopardy. The entire people was put in jeopardy. God said, I have interest in Imo State. He said to me that the end time vision, the end time message, the end time church and ministry is going to have its anchor base in Imo State. And I have given it unto you, O Son of Man. He said it's going to have its anchor base in Imo State. He said but the Antichrist has seen that state. The Antichrist know the vision. Remember that when God sent the angel to go and deliver their vision to Daniel, that the prince of Persia withstood him. Because these demons, they operate in the spiritual. Most of the times when the spiritual agenda of vision is released, they get to know about it first. And they do everything to want to stop it. But let me tell you, the vision of God cannot be stopped. The vision of God cannot be delayed. That is why even the archangel has to go to release Gabriel so that he could go and deliver the message to Daniel. And I want to tell you this. God said to me clearly, when I was asking, I said, well, okay, what are you saying? Is it going to be in 2024 with the next election that you are going to replace Hope Uzodinma, His Excellency Governor Hope Uzodinma, with Honorable Emeke Hedioha? And God said, no. He said, I would dethrone him from that place, dead or alive. He said, I will remove him from that place, dead or alive. And God said to me, Son of man, you must prophesy. Send this across to the people, so that the people will know that I, the Lord, that I am God. Remember this, that when God gave us the prophetic theme for this year, it was a time when God wanted to humble a man. When God wants to humble a man, God will dethrone that man. Who was that? God gave us the prophetic theme for the year and said this is our year of operating the flow of the prophetic. And the response to that was heavens do rule. The word heavens do rule came from the word from the Daniel chapter 4 verse 26. He said, and whereas they commanded to leave the stump of the tree roots, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee, after that thou shall have known that heavens do rule. He was talking about Nebuchadnezzar, the proud king. God was talking about him. God gave a vision, a word of prophecy, that man was going to be removed from that place, but that his kingdom will be intact, because he will be restored to the kingdom after he had been humbled and have realized that heaven do rule. Let me tell you, you may be in a position, you may be in a financial position, economic position, political position, and you think that you are in our place. My dear, fear God. When God is out for you, God will dethrone you. When God is out for you, God will demote you, and he will promote another. I said he brings down one and raises another. And God said,